Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Crusader Kings 3. It is January 1288. I am the Emperor of Britannia. I'm just kind of taking a look at our dynasty tree here. And, of course, you have the three cadet branches of the Greenhill dynasty. And I'm just kind of taking a look at those. One of those cadet branches is through, of course, now I'm Emperor Edward II, so it's my uncle, Prince Ragnar, who we basically stole titles from in order to be able to create the empire in the first place. And now it's his son, so my first cousin, Duke Ragnar of Powys, who is the head of that particular branch of the family, Greenhill Aberfall. And one of the things I think is really cool, and I just really appreciate the little attention to detail here, is if you look at our actual... let's see if we can see it here. There's our house coat of arms right here. You can see how the cadet branches incorporate that original coat of arms into their own, which I really appreciate that kind of attention to detail, because that's exactly the kind of thing that would happen in that situation. Same thing here. You see the, looks like, is that the Scottish coat of arms? No, it's the Earldom of Lincolnshire that is kind of built into that one. And then you also have the Earldom of Worcestershire built into that one. So you got kind of both of those things going on. You can see how it was originally that, and then they created a further cadet branch from the Greenhill Evesham house to create the Greenhill Lincoln house. So I just like those little things that really immerse you in all of this, and I'm excited to kind of continue this one, but then think about doing another one in the future. All right, so right now, our goal this episode is to try and consolidate the remaining counties in Britannia into our empire. I don't know how easily we will take these couple of counties from Norway, but obviously the petty kingdom of Moray, the petty kingdom of Lothian, and then Ulster we have to deal with. There's an active election going on right now for who will be the heir to the Kingdom of Scotland, because that is an elective monarchy. So right now my son and heir is second in that election. So we've got to look at a way to influence the vote a little bit. And I'm not entirely sure how best to do it, because it's not even close right now. It just doesn't look like it's going to be that easy. We may just have to let this one slide. Not a huge deal since it's still a part of our empire. Other thing I'm waiting on right now is my levies to get them back full so that we can get our income back where it should be. There we go. Now we're up to 31.6 every month. And I'm thinking about increasing the size of my men-at-arms. I'm just not sure where I want to go first. Light footmen. Those are some of the smaller ones that I have right now. The crossbowmen we just created, so maybe we'll up that one a little bit to size 5. And so that'll take some time to get them filled out. Okay, we can declare a war to seize the petty kingdom of Lothian. So I think that's probably what we'll go ahead and do. I don't think he's got any fancy allies that he can call. Now let's go ahead and look at our army and set a rally point that's up here somewhere. And then I think we'll raise everybody right here. We could raise the local army. How much has he got? Raise it all. Let's do this quickly. Alright, I sent back part of my army, and I'm going to use the other 2/3 that I raised to deal with what's happening here. I'll send one to besiege his capital, the other one to go after his army. The Battle of Stirling. Looking pretty good. And by using only 2/3 of our army, we're only spending 13, so it keeps us from going heavily into debt to do this. We've got other wars we can declare too. I've got a ransom. Alright, I'm going to pursue his army and destroy it. Looks like he came after me first. Actually, the petty king's there. If we can capture him, and we did, that'll do it. That's all we need to do is capture the guy that we're after. And now we can put this war to rest. We can decide what to do with the former petty king. And we are one step closer to uniting everything under one banner. What's going on here? Alright, and we've got... is this Glasgow? It is. The petty kingdom of Strathclyde, we can actually usurp that. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. It'll cost us 250 gold to do it. Although that did not grab for us the county of Lennox, the earldom of Lennox. We still are going to have to do that, but is it possible? Nah, nobody will accept my vassalage offers because of different faith, high feudal obligations, base reluctance, etc. That's kind of the same. I've checked all of them. None of them I can just kind of force to submit. This one over here is particularly interesting because we've got a 7-year-old child of Ulster whose mother is still alive. All right, I'm looking at my son, Prince Elfstan Edwardson, who's 7. And we're trying to divide up some of these petty kingdoms and duchies that I'm holding because I'm holding too many of them. So I'm going to give him the earldom of Fife, the petty kingdom of Strathclyde, as well as the Isles. So let's go ahead and grant those to my son, who now becomes my vassal. And I think, how are we now as far as petty kingdoms go? It looks like we don't hold too many anymore. We can create a new one, the Duchy of Albany. But I don't think I'll create that right now because that's just one more thing I'm going to have to give to somebody else. Oh, that's right. I'm possessed, aren't I? I forgot that was a thing that happened last episode. I know that they are coming just before I see them. A sudden rush of nausea, the walls of my chamber leaning closer, the sharp tang of citrus on my tongue, and then they stand before me. Who wrote this stuff? This is crazy. I love it. 4 shaking beings speaking in a choir of chimes. Who are these creatures and what do they want from me? They must be messengers from God. You can convince Patriarch Chemirs that your visions are holy. I gain prophetic visions. I'm just tired. I need to take better care of myself. How is my stress level? My stress is good. All right, we're fine. I gained prophetic visions. All right, cool. So maybe I'm not possessed. All right, and so we betrothed my son to a countess in Holland. Am I showing as possessed? Wrathful, arrogant, cynical, skilled tactician, logistician, formidable banneret. There's possessed. Yeah, okay. So I still am possessed. All right. We're going to continue our consolidation by declaring war for the petty kingdom of Ross. So let's go once again to our military. Let's once again... Let's move this rally point. Right there's good. And then let's raise the army. Oh, Urquhart. That's the one that's right up at the top of Loch Ness. That's one of the places we're looking forward to visiting when we go to Scotland. We could raise the local army. Would that be enough? It kind of would. We'll raise all of them, and then we'll figure out which one it is that we're going to use. Honestly, it doesn't much matter, does it? It won't let me disband it yet because hostile armies are around. Alright, we'll move it this way. See if that helps. In the midst of war, Edward has come of age, my son, who is the King of Ireland. I granted him that title a while back. He's a mastermind philosopher. Alright, once we defeat that army, we ought to be able to disband these ones because we're going to run out of money fast otherwise. There we go. He must be held up in the castle, or she, the queen, because we didn't grab her when we won that battle. Oh, we do have her husband, though. We could... I wonder if we could ransom him for a favor on her. Doesn't seem like it would make a big difference right now. I guess we'll just continue the siege, and we'll have to grab her. Oh, David, the Chancellor. So we've got her husband and her Chancellor, but we don't have her. She's got to be held up in the castle. She found a new alliance. Duke Ragnar might join the war. Interesting. And my alliance with the King of France has expired because the king died. Oh, well. That's not ideal. New lifestyle perk available. Hit and run. Retreat losses are down. Engineered for destruction. Alright, I like Parthian tactics here. To make my vassal Duke William more susceptible to my attempts at approaching him, I can include a compliment in my next missive to his court. He has loyalty and sense of honor. We'll talk about that. There we go. Alright, we have defeated the petty queen of Ross. Stand down. And we are that much closer. Now it's Ulster and Moray and Lennox are the ones we've got to deal with. There is kind of a war going on between some of my vassals right now that I'm really not involved in. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, that's part of the Kingdom of Ireland. Okay. Oh, did he give... No, there's a war going on. I was going to say, did he give independence to somebody? Looks like his father-in-law of the future father-in-law of the Holy Roman Empire is helping him out there, so I think we'll be okay. Please refrain from personal remarks in the future. Ouch. My compliment was not received well, apparently. Prisoners can be ransomed. My prisoner and rival, David. David, I think you're going to stay in prison, my friend, my rival. The others will go ahead and ransom. I feel like my son's got the upper hand in this war. 23,000 soldiers against 567. I'm really not sure what this guy was thinking in fighting that war. But I feel like his, and it is now his father-in-law, they did get married. His father-in-law can handle that one. So we're going for Lennox now, and I'm actually looking at, if I seize the Duchy of Strathclyde, actually my son owns that, why would I want to do that? Let's seize the Earldom of Lennox. A secret exposed. My vassal Duke Garman has accused my marshal Duke Edmund of having an extramarital affair with his lover Mayor Ella. How could he defile the sanctity of his marriage? Yeah, we're gonna just let that go. I lost a level of devotion for basically turning a blind eye to those things that were happening. I think in this situation we can probably just raise the local army. It's only 579 that we're dealing with here. Let's move the rally point to here. Raise the local army, which will be more than enough and won't hurt my financial situation too much. Oh, it's still 6,000. Looks like we're going to have to lay siege. All right, these wars are getting pretty easy. I mean, when you're an empire declaring war on a county, it tends to be that way. All right, disband the army. So here's our situation now. Now we're just looking at Ulster. Why is Edward struggling so much in this war? Although it looks like they're about to fix that. There's a siege about to finish. So hopefully that war's not going to last too much longer. There we go. Yeah, it looks like they took care of business. All right, Ulster and Moray is what's left. Ulster's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. Seize the de jure duchy. Right now, the Queen of Norway holds that. We'll go for the county. We do have prisoners that can be ransomed. Earl Hector is one of them. My acquaintance Henry died in my dungeons. Oh, he was only 9 years old. I kind of feel bad about that. I didn't even realize he was in my dungeons. All right, we're going to move the Falkirk rally point over here to Ireland so we don't have to cross the water to do this. What kind of army are they dealing with? What do they have? 1686. So I guess we'll raise a legit army. And then we'll decide which part of it to use. This is the part that has the heavy cavalry and skirmishers and 8 knights. I think that's the part we're going to go with to do this. And we'll disband the other 2 once we've won the war, or won the battle and driven off the enemy. Gonna move them out a little further away. Well, my son and heir, Sinehelm, has just married the daughter of the Byzantine Empire. A couple of my acquaintances died. That was my patriarch. And who's this guy? Alright, we're just trying to finish off this siege, and that'll do it. Cuthberg comes of age, my daughter. Alright, there we go. So it looks like the Inner Hebrides have become an independent realm now. So now we're going to have to go after them at some point. Beautiful area right there. Place I hope to visit someday. Let's take a moment and look at our family now. So my eldest son, who's the heir to the Empire of Britannia, as well as the kingdoms of England and Ireland, because my son, who's the king of Ireland, has no children yet. He's now married to the princess of the Byzantine Empire, and therefore allied to the Byzantine Empire. So even when I die, that alliance will continue. His brother, King Edward III, is married to Queen Benedicta, who is, I believe, the daughter of the Holy Roman Emperor. She is. Alright, who else do we have? Let's do this right. Here we go. Then we have my daughter, Princess Cuthberg, who just now married Prince Alan of France, who I believe is the brother. Yeah, he's the younger brother of King Guy V of France. And therefore, there's an alliance that could be potentially there if he holds title, or she holds title at some point. Okay, so we've won that war, so we can disband this army. Inner Hebrides is all that is left, and that's actually the woman that I defeated, so we're going to have to wait a while. Alright, to the perceptive Emperor Edward of Britannia, King Guy is calling us to his war. Alright, we'll accept only because it's the right thing to do. Oh, available Dynasty Legacy. Blood. Noble veins. No. Glory. Bounteous loins. No. Reputation. No. Probably a little late for worrying about that kind of stuff. I think we'll go down this path. Personal scheme power, 25%. Monthly diplomacy lifestyle experience, plus 10%. Earning respect. So the King of France is not doing so great in his war. It's actually a pretty substantial force he's facing. They're pretty even on both sides. And I'm not really inclined to help him out because even though he's my ally, a weaker France actually bodes well for me in terms of my designs on the continent that I have. Once we deal with a few things. And honestly, at this point, I'm kind of inclined to just let this stuff go. I've got an alliance with the Duke of Moray, and I've got a truce with Inner Hebrides since I just finished a war against her. So my sister, Princess Margaret, died of natural causes. I didn't realize my mother was still alive, 67 years old. Good for her. I also have a sister, Elizabeth, who's 38, and my sister Estefania, who's 35. Wait, now France is calling me to a second war? Oh boy. You got your hands full, man. Oh, and my mother just died, so I shouldn't have pointed out the fact that she was still alive, because apparently that made her die. Duke William was swayed. That's good. I think we're probably in good shape with him. Let's look at our vassals for a minute. Duke Jocelyn, my brother-in-law, is obviously the one I have to worry about the most because he's got almost 14,000 men that he can command. That's crazy for a duke that they can put that many together. If William, Edmund, and Jocelyn decided to get together, they would have more men than me. So that would definitely be a problem. But thankfully, they're all on pretty good terms with me. Now, the Earl of Worcestershire is a different story. So let's go ahead and see if maybe we can work on swaying him a little bit, because he could not hate me more. All right, France, how you doing? France is going to end up broken up into all kinds of kingdoms. Let him go. Man, France is just burning right now. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff happening there. None of it good for the King of France. My spy master has come to me with grave news. While we do not yet know who, someone is plotting against me. Okay. So let's take a look and see what we can find out. Somebody wants the Kingdom of Wales, so I'd say it's probably safe to think that maybe it's him. We can't murder him easily. Yeah, we can. Let's do that. Let's assume for a minute that it's him, although we certainly know it could be someone else. It could even be somebody in my own family. All right, greetings, Emperor Edward of Britannia. 2 years ago, you promised to aid me in the Liberty War, yet so far you have done nothing to support me in this endeavor. What's the point of our alliance if you... I was hoping he wouldn't notice that I didn't do anything for him. He's about to lose that war. I could give him gold, and he's going to lose opinion of me. I apologize. I should not have claimed that I would help. I could break my alliance with the King of France. Honestly, at this point, I don't really need it. So, yeah, we'll break that alliance. I mean, because really, I've got a huge army, and I've got massive allied armies just from my alliance with the Holy Roman Emperor and the Byzantine Emperor. I don't need France, too. You're on your own, France. He's about to lose that war anyway. Look at that. It's bad. All right, so there it is. King Guy of France has lost his war and therefore lost some land. A claim on the Kingdom of Poland. That's interesting. I don't want to get involved in a war where I don't personally gain any titles. We still have this other war that the King of France is involved in. Can I offer a white peace to get out of it? No, I'm not the war leader, so I can't. There's got to be a way I can just leave that war, though, right? So as we get near the end of this episode, I'm going to wrap it up here in just a minute. Just want to offer my thoughts on what's coming next. I've been called to war by who? This is the Byzantine Emperor. Independence War as a defender. So, all right, let's hope he wins this war quick enough that we don't have to get involved too much. But anyway, my thought process is this. I'm saving up my money because I know if I do get into a war where I need my full army, I'm very quickly going to run out of money. So the more I have, the less quickly I will lose it all. But here's the thing. I want to raise my crown authority in 1298, which is the next time I'm allowed to. And no doubt, when I do that, it's going to cause some consternation among my vassals, and somebody's going to probably start a faction against me. So I'm saving up my money thinking I may have to fight a war, because the last time I raised the Crown Authority, I ended up fighting a war. I ended up losing that war. I ended up having to lower the Crown Authority again just to hang on to my kingdom. So I don't want to repeat that. But let me know your thoughts about everything that's happening. What would you do next if you were me? Looking at the map, thinking about what's next. We've got about 160 years left to play until we hit the end of this game. If I'm able to, and I think you can, I think there's a transfer tool that can take the world as it exists in your game on Crusader Kings and take it over to Europa Universalis 4. If that's still possible, I think we might continue this story into EU4. I think that'd be a lot of fun to do. I haven't played that game forever, but I think it'd be a lot of fun. But let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below. Hit that like button if you would, and we will see you again soon with another episode. Thanks for watching.